Hey,
mamas.
mamas! Welcome back to season 3.
Woohoo! I'm Jess.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Melissa. And firstly, we would like to say
Congratulations.
Okay, so this episode we recorded a while back with Nush. Prawny Shaka, now we know his name and now we know it's a boy. He's beautiful.
I kind of knew it was a boy, FYI.
I had my heart set on a girl. I think
because you've got a girl.
Yeah, probably.
We did say he was a boy from the beginning, though.
But I'm basically based my one on her belly. She just looked like a boy.
Whereas I was going with how unwell she was at the beginning, because a lot of what she was saying, I was like, oh my God, that sounds like what I went through with Maya. So
this episode was recorded a few weeks before she had the baby. So here it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
It'll be like, ding, 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 ding.
Mama's Code.
Welcome back.
How's Prawny?
Getting big, getting uncomfortable.
Really?
I literally can't move anywhere. I'm just everything hurts. Did anyone else did your vagina bone hurt?
Yeah.
Like, that hurts when I walk. It hurts everywhere when I walk.
That's a good sign. The head is like calming down.
Going down, yeah.
Is it? Oh my God, because I was worried about that because I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's sideways because I feel like I feel kicks like either side of me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to speak to them about having my home birth as well. So Mama's Code. Well, take 2, fingers crossed.
Yes. Thank you for coming back on.
Yeah, no worries.
For those of you listening, Nush was already on the podcast, but we had technical difficulties.
And we touched on a few things. I think, was it 3-4 weeks ago? And you were holding your quarantine in France. Was it the south of France?
Yeah,
France. I don't know if
France.
But you're back home now, so is it all getting a bit real now that you're,
back? Yeah, it is weird. I got home and I just kind of realized that my child does not have a place to sleep or any clothes or anything, so I kind of had a little bit of a stress moment. But then I also realized that I think society makes you think that newborns need a lot more than you actually do. So as long as they've got my tit and they got my got nappies, got a few things to wear and a bed, it should be all right, I think. I mean, you guys can let me know if you've done it before.
100%.
A friend of mine gave me a few baby grows and like a little kind of cuddly toy thing. So it's got some clothes, which is good. And I should be getting a bed in the next few weeks, and then hopefully given some nappies as well to try out. So that will be interesting. And I'm planning on breastfeeding, but you guys said last time, you need to keep flexible and keep your options open. So I might get stock up on some alternative just in case. Although my partner is very au naturel. So if I try and tell him my tit's not working and that this child's going to have a different form of food, I don't know how he's going to take that. He'll probably research some sort of wet nurse. Because anything shop bought, he's like, no. I mean, is it organic? Yeah, no. Are we having reusable nappies? Yeah, no. He is Mr. environmentally friendly, organic, so hopefully my tit works all right.
So are you having reusable nappies?
Well, I'm gonna try, and there's an eco-friendly brand that's kind of approached me that I'm gonna give a go. I don't think they're quite reusable. I think they're the inserts that are disposable, that are better for the environment. So I'm gonna try that. That's a middle ground, because I don't want to go for loincloth vibes just yet. I'm not living in the bush. I need to be able to just have an easy life, unless Mr. M is planning on washing these nappies himself, then gladly, but I know that's not going to happen.
Back in when we were born, back home, they had linen nappies with the little safety pins on the side. I kid you not, they were literally tennis white. I don't know how my mom and my grandma kept them so white, but if my child now is having, I don't know, raspberries, and he gets it on his baby things, that's it. I'm throwing it away.
Get it out.
Yeah. It's just going straight in the bin because I don't know how to get that out.
I don't know. Mums and grandmas just have ways of making things clean, but
100%
really clean. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I thought that But does that not happen when you become a mum? I was hoping that I just get all these magical powers like my mum has. Like, what the hell? Why does my mum do all this amazing stuff?
You will definitely go to your mum, because I know for me, because my children are in school, like they get their white shirts dirty. My mum would come here, she'd be like, how are you letting your child go to school like that? Look, it's just horrible. And then she'll literally take it off, and then the next day, like literally sparkling white. And I'll be like, how did you do that? And she'll be like, with the stuff you have in your kitchen. And I was like, wow, okay.
Teach me.
It definitely does not come with the job.
Okay.
That's the one thing that you kind of
maybe with time. Maybe it's an experience thing. Yeah. And if give us a few years.
Yeah, maybe when they're 20.
I went to my boyfriend's family's house yesterday, and they were like, wow, Nush, like you're actually huge now. You're huge. And I think that gave Mr. M a wake-up call, because I've spent every single day with him for the last 80 days, and he hasn't noticed how big I've got. And so he hasn't really felt sorry for me or given me any form of sympathy. And then last night when they were like, they clocked it, and he was like, okay, shit, maybe she's actually big. So tonight I was going to make dinner, and then he was just like, oh, baby, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. I'll fend for myself. Like, you do your work. Like, it's all good. And I was just like, wow, okay. So maybe I might get a bit more physical support now. I'm 8.5 months pregnant. Yeah, like finally, bloody hell, after 8 months, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's okay. I'm
perks are coming out.
Yes.
Have you been given much thought into like the delivery?
Yeah, so I've been listening to this audiobook called The Positive Birth Book.
Yeah.
And it's been really interesting. Kind of, it just outlines all your different options to labor, and there's just so many different things you can do nowadays. But I think I'm leaning towards still having a home birth, just because like in these whole like corona times, I have some friends that work in the hospitals, and apparently it's just not a nice energy, it's not a nice vibe. Like they restrict women anyway, even on a normal day, in terms of their options and what you get in hospital, let alone when there's this contagious virus going around, global pandemic. So if I can stay clear of that in this time, I think I would want to kind of get away from that energy and just be in my own space where I can just do hypnobirthing and, have my playlist, have some candles, dark space, and like not be restricted on who I can, so much like who I can have there. So just, I think because of the circumstances, that I think that's the best option. I think quite a lot of women are rooting for that. And I'm only 10 minutes away from the hospital, so if anything goes wrong, like I feel confident that it's, it will be okay. Obviously it's scary, but you can't really think about the negatives. You just have to have like complete faith in your body, and then hope that, it will work out for the best.
It's nice that you're still considering the home birth.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous. I wish I had and not that I would like to have a baby during this pandemic, but it's a scary situation, like you mentioned last time, like you've restricted to do all the things that normal pregnant women would do, like say baby showers, just feeling the love of everyone, kind of like being around you and showering your baby with gifts and stuff. So all those things you're being stripped off with, and then on top of that, knowing that obviously having the thought, like, yes, you're having a home birth, but if anything was to go wrong, you'd be taken to hospital. So you already have that kind of pressure, like, oh, I might end up there anyways.
Yeah. I'm remaining very open and flexible. I just think that, and that's what you have to do with birth anyway, whether or not there's a global pandemic going on, because you never know what's going to happen at the time and what position your baby's in or what the situation is. So as long as you're not set, you haven't got your heart set on a birth plan and have like a few different options, then you can't end up just being disappointed. So
positive mentality to have. I think especially as a first time mum, sometimes we get caught up in this idea in our head, and when things don't go that way, we're already stressed out. And obviously when you're during birth and labor, the more relaxed you are, the easier things are to progress anyways. So that's really good that you have such like positive outlook on the whole situation.
I think you have to, otherwise you just end up in a corner crying most of the time. So just kind of stay positive.
When I went for the home birth, no, not home birth. Why am I lying? When I went for the birth, when I went for the birth center, the midwives there said to me that it's because I kept asking, what if this happens, or what, because I wanted to know how they would deal with whatever situation, and they said that the chances of anything going wrong, whether you're at home or at the birthing center, is like very small. Because if you're at the hospital, they will take out your natural approach to birth out the window, and they'll just rush in with like what are those, forceps and episiotomies, when they like slice your vagina and everything. So it's like because obviously at the hospital the doctors are so concerned on getting the mum in, getting the mum out to free the beds, that they just don't really care that you want to do it naturally and at your own time. So that's why they always end up rushing in. Of course, there's been times when the baby, at the hospital, their heartbeat goes down or whatever it is, and obviously they have to intervene. But if you're at home or in a birthing center, they just let you do what your body is telling you. So they don't have to rush in and be like, oh, they literally try to the very last moment to get your baby out so that's just, honestly, it's the best thing.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, my poor fucking neighbours, but it's only one day. Hopefully.
Doesn't that intimidate you?
What, the fact that I'm going to be like screaming the road down?
Yeah.
Fuck 'em, man.
But you don't even know. What if you're not a screamer?
Well, then brilliant. But I think I am. I think I'm melodramatic, and I think I
wasn't a screamer. And do you know what I was screaming? I thought, because I did the whole hypnobirthing as well, and I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna be like, and Erica used to say to me, just don't scream because it rinses your energy out. So I was like, okay, I can't scream, I just need to do it in silence. There I was pushing, I was like, oh my god, his head is so big, my fucking vagina. And literally all the swear words you can think were just coming out, and I was like, oh my god, my pussy hurts, and the midwife was looking at me like, wow. Oh my god.
That's so funny. Live commentary.
It's crazy because I remember I used to say to the girls, I was like, I think I'm going to be such a wimp, I'm going to scream, I'm going to probably, not cope with it. And I didn't really scream, did I? I was more like,
oh, but I think
like that. And
we heard her, so I called her partner, and I was on the phone, so he put me on loudspeaker, and I could hear Melissa, and she'd be like, and I was like, oh, and I was literally pacing up and down, like if I was in that hospital room, and I was just pacing, and my husband was like, Erica, just shut the fucking phone up, I'm getting stressed out. And I was like, oh my god, she's suffering so much. It was just awful. My god.
I'm not gonna lie.
I genuinely thought I was screaming. I thought, because I'm a bit of a potty mouth, so I was like, I'm gonna be effing and blinding everyone. But come to the day, I don't even know. Everything just takes over. Your body is doing its own thing anyways.
I'm not even gonna lie. The first time I heard Mel screaming, like when she was giving birth, I thought she was having sex. So she was like, oh. So you did it very passionately, Melissa.
Passionate moment.
Mama, I love you.
Do you believe it now?
Yeah, now I'm like,
it's
okay. Yeah, I can physically feel it everywhere. I'm huge. Like, this is definitely not a beer belly anymore.
Do you feel like, because you say like your vagina bone hurts, do you feel as if you had like a bowling ball stuck inside your vagina?
Yeah, vagina and just general stomach as well, because there's no room. And also like this whole thing where people say, oh yeah, you end up eating for two. That hasn't happened to me because there's no room in there to eat for two. My stomach is tiny. I want to eat more and I can't. I just get heartburn, and it's just it's peak. So I'm not really eating, not milking it the way I should.
Yeah.
I will sell that. As well.
Oh, it's a hard life.
I was so upset as well because I was like, I can't wait. I can milk it. I can eat for two. Anything I want, whenever I want. But the reality was I was spending most of my time just throwing up. But the light is there.
So disappointed, Mel.
Literally. Both of them. Look at Nush's face. Is like, I wanted to eat. That's all I really wanted.
Yeah. Except that I can't indulge in the things that I really love, like, because everything's fucking closed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't have I haven't been able to have KFC. Like, what am I meant to have? Home cooked food. That's dead. Too healthy. I've been eating so freaking healthy for the past 3 months. I just want like a McDonald's.
She wants to be up at 3 a.m. asking for McDonald's, getting Mr.
Right?
M to run.
In it, this is the only time I can do that. Instead, I have to go to the supermarket and fucking queue. Actually, that's a lie. I've been getting preferential service because, you know, I got a bump, so people let me go in front, which is like the only benefit. And you can really milk it. You can just be like, oh yeah, oh.
Like, I used to do that in the toilets. You know, when you have to queue, I used to be like, oh God, and everyone would be like, oh, pregnant lady, let her go.
Yeah, go. And that's another issue as well. Like, nothing's open. So if I go out, I can't, like, nothing's open. There's no toilets anywhere. So I'm like, right, I need to have tissues on me so I can just like pee in a fucking like alleyway.
That is so true. I would have never honestly, thought of that.
Stressful. Really stressful. Yeah, don't be pregnant during Corona. It's long. In London, anyway. At least in France, I could like pee in the bush in the mountains. No one around. But here, there's just bare people.
Knowing you appear in someone's like video. Like, what is Nush doing there?
Right? And I've been away for so long. And then I got back yesterday, and I went into a corner shop. And this guy behind me was just like, I know you, you're Nush, I follow you. And I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that. Like, I have to actually, like, watch what I'm doing. I can't just pee in a fucking, like, alleyway anymore.
People are watching you now.
Right, back on my best behaviour. Kind of.
But I do have some good news for you, though. If you're planning to breastfeed, once the baby comes, you can actually eat as much as you want while you're breastfeeding because you get so hungry. And you can eat, and it just doesn't pile up.
Fantastic.
So
it just sheds.
Everything just gets sucked out. So you're just like, give me more. Fine.
Does it like affect the baby's milk though? Like the quality of diet you have? Like, should you technically eat better?
I think a balanced diet.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you're gonna have
gonna...
KFC or McDonald's a couple times, I'm just gonna infuse the titty milk a bit.
I feel like you'll eat nutritiously anyways.
Yeah.
I hope so. What's the deal with alcohol? What's this pump and dump business?
At my 6-week checkup after the baby, and the doctor was like, okay, you're all fine, you can go now. Any questions? And I said, yes, can I have alcohol? Because I was literally like dying for a glass of wine. And he looked at me like, wow, like, is this really on? Like, okay. And because I said the same thing, I was like, look, you on Google, you read so many things that everyone's telling you to pump and dump. It doesn't actually make a difference if you pump and dump. Disclaimer, what my doctor said. You can drink a glass of wine with your dinner, and they do say, I think it's leave 2 or 3 hours after your drink to then feed your baby. So This is why it's good that if, you know, say the weekend is coming and you want to have a glass, just have some milk pumped ready, so that you can at least give yourself those 3 hours.
How long does the milk last? Like, say hypothetically you've got like a friend's birthday and you know you want to go out and get drunk. Can you prepare like you know, enough milk and freeze it or put it in the fridge so that it's there for like a 24 hours?
But you can freeze it for a long time, because I remember with my first child, with both, I've had really sensitive nipples, so they will always crack and bleed. So what I would do, even with like pumping, it would be so painful. So I would make him latch on, because obviously that makes your milk flow quicker.
Right.
Just to give me that break, I would get my husband to feed him with a bottle, and I had like tons of like bags that you can just seal and just put it in the, like, if you're going to give it to him like or her on the day, you just kind of like just put it in the fridge and then take it out and give it to the baby. If you plan to do it like you say, like if you've got good supply, you just want to pump and have enough, then just freeze it, and then when you're ready to give it to him, put it in the fridge, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think the NHS have guidelines on how long you can leave the milk out. I can't remember
4 days in the fridge, because that's what.
Yeah, and even out like at room temperature as well. Probably the most important thing is just to always label like when you pump, that like the date, so you kind of know which ones to use first and how long and all that.
Cool.
But say if you were going to go out and you had milk like in the freezer, you just put it in the fridge the day, so like when in the morning it will be defrosted already anyways, but all of them would be in the fridge. So
the baby can't drink it out of the fridge though, can it?
Or they sell that flask with hot water that you can just pour in and kind of
kind of like warms it up. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Puppy. Good girl.
Is it bad for kids to move from breast milk straight to like oat milk or like a non-dairy form of milk?
No. You just have to do it at a year, once the baby's a year.
Do it kind of like steadily, because some kids can have allergies, but you won't know that until you try it out.
But I think the best thing to do is, obviously, when your baby's around like 6 months, you can start giving them yogurt. So like normal, like the normal little yogurts and that they have, cows and cheese, and like that you slowly start knowing, you know, how your baby's going to react to these things.
Right.
So that kind of gives you a guidance 6 months on, where you are going to move them to, you know, cows, oat, whatever milk you're moving them on, to see what kind of balance they need. Maybe you will realize that your baby's, you know, lactose intolerant, so you kind of know basically on that.
Did you know that black people are more inclined to be lactose intolerant?
Really?
Yeah, they're like actually, if you look back at the history of you know actual black people in Africa, their bodies are not meant for any form of dairy. It's just not meant for their diet. It's just Western culture has infused it. So that's why a lot of black people are actually lactose intolerant.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
It is.
I think even as humans as well, there's always people who don't drink dairy or who don't eat dairy will always say, you know, we're not really made to be eating. We shouldn't really be having dairy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, our bodies aren't really meant for it.
Yeah, they can't really process it.
But doesn't breast milk count as dairy? What is breast milk?
Are you gonna
like,
give
what category of food is that?
Are you gonna give Mr. M's coffee with breast milk?
Brother, this guy's already saying that our child's not gonna have any food because he's gonna get there first, and I'm like, first it's my gas and air that he's gonna steal, then it's our child's food. Like, seriously.
Is he gonna try it?
Mate, he's on that. I told you, Mr. Organic. Like, he sees no issue with it. If it's natural, it's
okay. Do you know? I remember that when Maya was born, I think I was about a week after having her, and I had pumped, and then my mum was like, "Oh, Dan, let's try Melissa's milk," and so they poured a shot glass each. And they just went for it. Dan
what was it like?
Well, I just remember, like, because I remember trying milk. But I just thought it just tasted a bit kind of salty. I don't really like milk anyways, just generally. Yeah. But my husband's face, you should have seen, and he literally was just like disgusted. He was like, "I can't, like, I'm so sorry, you know, no offense, but I actually feel a bit sick, like I'm done. It's not, I should have never done that." Well,
when you have loads of beetroot, it comes out pinkish.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
But I mean, you would have to eat a lot of beetroot.
You want pink milk?
Milkshake.
I can imagine just sitting there with like beetroot eating it, like, come out pink milk.
Produce
come on, pink milk.
So have you got all yourself set up for what you need for breastfeeding?
Not really. I mean, I'm trying to get a pump sent to me because they're well expensive and I can't afford them. So I'm trying my best to get that, and then I've got some bottles, and then I've got some nipple cream. Anything else I need?
I also suggest there's this thing, I can't remember what it's called, but I'll send it to you on Instagram. Yeah, it's basically when you're feeding, it's like a little suction cup that you put on the breast that you're not feeding from. And when you're feeding your baby, the other breast will automatically start leaking. So instead of that milk kind of going to waste, it just picks it up in this little pump thing that's attached to your boob. Yeah, that.
Oh my god, that's so clever.
Yeah. And it just picks it up, and then, you know, it depends how much milk is producing, like you produce, but you can get maybe like an ounce or 2 ounces or even more. And then you can just use that for your next feed or to store it, whatever.
I mean, yeah, of course.
It's the best thing. It's literally, it's only £13 on Amazon. And the thing is, when you're feeding your baby, you have a lot of letdown on the other boob. Yeah. And you feel your other tit just cramping and it starts leaking. So obviously, no woman wants to lose any bit of milk, so it's a suction, just stick it, and while your baby's feeding, it's just collecting, so you've just done 2 jobs in one. It's
amazing.
Honestly, try it.
And it saves mess as well, because
otherwise,
because that's the other thing, if you've got nipple pads, go through
yeah,
a few of them.
yeah, send me that link.
Get those maternity pads you need, because there will be a lot of bleeding.
Oh yes, yeah, I've heard of that. Adult nappies.
Stock up on quite a bit as well.
I remember
to be honest, even when I get my period, sometimes I wear some.
Is that how many you got?
Yeah,
that's such a good idea. Let me write this shit down.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, you know, when, like, especially after, you don't really know when your next period is going to come. So when I was pregnant, obviously you go 9 months without a period. Why would I buy pads? Like, there's no logical reason.
Have a little jug in your toilet for after you give birth, because it will sting so bad when you pee.
And also, when those contractions start, do not sit down. Sway your hips. And I repeat, sway them hips. What that happens, basically just sway and sway and sway, because that will literally make you give birth so quick.
Okay.
And you won't suffer.
Don't come back to Erica if that's false information.
No, it's true. It's worked for everyone that I've told.
Yeah.
Dance during contractions. Noted.
Mama, I love you.
And how are you feeling about, like, your body? And obviously you say you feel very, like, heavy and it's pretty much uncomfortable no matter how you are. Are you still kind of feel like you're embracing the changes, or are you like, I'm done?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any insecurities over the way I look, because I'm so impressed with, you know, the female body that we can do this and grow life. And if that's not an incredible thing, then I don't know what is. So any changes that come with my body, you know, I just kind of have to accept. And I think it also really helps when you have a partner who's very you know, loving and reassuring. You know, I can imagine them, if I was still with any of my, like, exes, there's a couple of them that probably would not make me feel like this and make me feel like a fat cow, just because they're dickheads. But, like, Mr. M is, you know, always complimenting me, and it's like, kind of, you know, there's more of me to love now, which is really nice, and that helps with the fact that I feel like a whale. But yeah, cellulite is like a major thing. Like, that's just come on strong, and I'm like, fuck it. I have bingo wings. Fuck it. I have saggy tits. Fuck it. It's not that they've grown that much, but it's just I'm now wider, so my bras are too uncomfortable. So I haven't been wearing bras, which means they're just bare saggy. But I just don't care.
Bare saggy. It's just like.
I was literally saying to the girls this before you came on. I was like, my tits are so saggy now. Like, they're just like,
mate,
just chuck
honestly,
them over my shoulders.
I think if I was to ever get any sort of plastic surgery, it'd be like after I'm done having all my kids, and it would just be like not even a boob job, but just a boob lift to get them back to where they were.
So we wanted to do something a bit different, and we wanted to, like, do kind of a quiz. So we have 6 questions that we're going to put out to you.
Okay, just a disclaimer. I know nothing. I am a complete newbie. Like, this was not a planned pregnancy. I haven't been studying for motherhood for years. It just sprung on me. I've been in the mountains for 3 months. I don't know shit. So that's my disclaimer.
So does that mean you're going to get 0 out of 6?
It might be, but here we go. I'll learn something new.
To make you feel better as well, I didn't know some of the answers to these questions either.
I didn't either.
Okay,
on most of the questions that we're going to ask you, you've just researched.
Oh my god, I'm literally having a test on motherhood. They don't teach you this shit in school, man.
Question number 1. Newborns are born without kneecaps. True or false?
Without kneecaps? I'm trying to, like, picture their legs. I think it's true.
Correct.
Is it? Yeah, because they can't walk yet, so there's no, like, there's no bone. Does it, like, develop over time?
Yeah.
Is it 3 years old that it starts?
Yeah.
Like that. Especially when they're crawling as well, because obviously it hurts if you know.
If you crawl, it hurts.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
that makes.
For them, it doesn't hurt, and sometimes they, like, proper, like, go hard on it. It doesn't hurt them because they don't have kneecaps. So you can't even kick your kid in the kneecaps because it won't hurt.
Just if anyone wants to do that, they just get pissed off.
Okay, question number 2. How hot should baby's bath water be?
Oh shit. I'm gonna go for a wild guess of 32 degrees.
Ooh, close.
What is
It's
it?
37.
Ooh, okay. I
But-
was gonna go for 38 because that's body temperature, but then I thought
Yeah.
that's too hot.
So they sell actually like these little thermometers that you can just chuck in the bath. So that
I
it does.
bro, I don't even have a bath. Like, I don't even have a bath. This is how peak it is. Like,
But you don't need one, Nush. I think, like
Oh.
like you said, like so many people work you up into this. Like, of course, it's comfortable to have one, but you can get in the bath with your baby, and that's that even
there's
Miss
no
M.
bath.
An actual bath.
There's no actual bath in my house. There
Oh,
is
I
a
don't have a
shower.
bath either. I've got a shower.
Just sit in it and just kind of like where the water's coming.
But
just
you can
feel
buy
like,
the plastic little baths that you can put them in, right?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
If you want, we bathed Maya a couple times in the sink.
I think Mr. M used to pee in the sink though, so I don't know. After a night out.
you need to bleach that now.
Shit. Yeah.
Well,
right?
not you. He does.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Baby boys get erections. True or false?
Definitely true.
And this
Yeah,
is
I know because I've heard that when they pee, sometimes they pee on you because it just like
Yeah. It's
That's
so
a joke.
cute.
My baby's he's been getting familiar with his body, and every time we take his nappy off, he puts his hand right on it, and it just goes whoop, and he thinks it's the funniest thing.
But isn't it to do with the blood rather than
Yeah.
them actually getting sexually aroused?
Yeah, no, of
Yeah,
course.
no,
that,
definitely.
that would be so
That'd be a bit
wrong.
weird.
That would be weird.
I like 2 months old and it's just like, oh yeah.
I mean, in my household, if that happens, Miss M's gonna be like, "That's my horny baby right there. That's my boy." No,
Right. How many bones are babies born with?
I don't even know how many adults have. How many bones are babies born with? Do you guys know how many adults have?
Yeah, 206.
106. Okay. Okay. Let's go for a round number of 100.
300.
What? How is it more?
300 bones.
And then they start losing them.
They
Which is
lose their bones.
You know, like they lose teeth, you're just gonna randomly see bones scattered around the house.
Shedding.
No, I'm joking. They just fuse together to make bigger bones.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
This was one I didn't know. I was like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's insane.
That's
This is-
scary. That's like more to break. That's like more danger alert for me. I'm just like, right, shit.
Bubble
That
wrap.
sounds more
Let's
fragile.
bubble wrap it when it's born.
In case Prawny is a little girl, do baby girls get periods?
True or false?
I feel like this is too obvious to be a false. I mean, I would have said false, but then I said a trick question. No, I mean, no, I didn't think no. You get a period when you're like 13.
So this was actually one that I found out when I went to the those antenatal classes, but it's actually true. So it's all the hormones, that maternal estrogen levels, that when the little girls are born, it's not uncommon for them to like have a little bleed. So they just tell you, if you are having a girl, they just tell you like, if you see a bit of blood on their nappy, like don't be alarmed. It can be a period kind of thing.
Okay,
That's
fascinating.
but it seems to be like a one-off shed of blood situation.
Right. They have nappies anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not like you have to go out and buy them some tampons. I'd hope. God,
Please
that's
don't
so
do that.
fascinating. No, don't worry. Bad mum 101.
Just imagine this, like, this might be a bit too big for that.
Like half the child, like a supermax. Bigger than the hand.
Last question. How big does your vagina goes once it's 10 centimeters, if we're comparing it to something?
So wait, is 10 centimeters not actually 10 centimeters?
No, but
Yeah.
comparing it to, like, say, like a fruit or something, like something
Whatever.
visual.
Because obviously
Well,
it's 10
my-
centimeters all around.
Yeah, I mean, my app is telling me that by the end of gestation, Prawny will be as big as a fucking watermelon. I mean, how the hell am I going to push that?
Correct.
Is it? Fantastic. But let me not even think about that, because that's seriously stressful. Like, that's huge. That's actually huge.
But no, it's not the big watermelons. It's smaller watermelons.
The organic ones. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Mr. M would approve.
Thank God for that.
So you didn't do that bad. You pretty much got all of them right.
No, there's a couple I've never heard of before in my life. Most of them are guesses, but thank you guys. I feel very educated. This is good.
Are you guys going to film the whole thing?
It depends on who I can have there, because the only person that would be willing to film / I'd want to film is Mr. M's sister. But if I can't have more than like one person there, then like I don't want him to film, because one, he has no photography skills whatsoever. I asked him to take a nice photo of me and it's literally like the worst of the worst. And like, which is really annoying, because I'm a good photographer. I take a good picture of him, he looks nice. It happens with my friends as well. Like, I take banging photos of them, and then when it comes to them taking photos of me, they're just dead. So I don't trust him with a camera anyway. Yeah, if I can have that third party there to kind of take memories, then yeah. But if not, then no. Am I bothered about filming it? No, I don't think so. I'll have the memories as long as I have a couple of photos, like thumbs up, I'm still alive, and then one with my healthy baby. I think I'll kind of be all right. I'm not too worried about seeing it actually come out of me. It might put me off having any more children.
I figure that, when like the time goes, like your baby's like 3 months, 6 months, and you kind of look back at it and you're like, wow, you actually look like that. I remember it happened with Jess. Jess sent us a picture of her baby and she was like, I can't believe you guys didn't tell me he was ugly. And I was like, that is so rude.
He looked like a little mountain baby.
Oh, that's cute. No, that's the thing though. Like, I keep telling my friends, like, you can fully tell me my baby's not cute. Like, I will know if it's not cute. Surely you know. Don't you know as a mum if your baby's not cute?
No, you don't.
Really? Oh no, that's so awkward.
You literally think your baby is the cutest.
And your friends will think the same.
Yeah.
Because how much they love you and appreciate you. And not because they want to lie to you, it's just because they come to visit your baby with all that love. When they see it, they're already brainwashed to think it's a cute baby.
I disagree. I have friends that will tell me straight. Kaz will definitely tell me if I have an ugly baby, 100%. She'll be like,
do you reckon she'll be like,
yeah, she'll be like, rah, you're pissed.
You're stuck with that.
She'll be like, maybe 2 rights make a wrong, innit? Yeah, but whatever I get, it might blossom. It might be like a caterpillar.
Turn into a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, one day. No, I honestly, I can't even visualize what it's gonna look like. I haven't put any sort of standard on the.
Have you guys got a name if it's girl and a boy?
We have got a girl and a boy name, but I want to come up with 2 more in case they look nothing like the first name.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple friends that have been so set on names and then it's come out and it looks nothing like what they planned. So I'm gonna try and come up with a second. But we love our first option so much that it's hard to find anything else that kind of comes close. But yeah, my top tip, possibly the whole of pregnancy, is don't tell anyone your baby names. We made the mistake, Mr. M made the mistake of telling his family what our names were, and we just got so much judgment, and there's so many of them as well. Half of them like the girl's name and don't like the boy's name, and then vice versa, and you're trying to please people, and it's long. Like, I haven't even told my parents, because I just feel like when you have a child and you call it something and be like, right, this is so and so, no one can judge, no one can have an opinion. But as soon as it's like an option, people feel like they can jump in and judge your names. It's long. Just keep that shit to yourself and then know. And apparently there are some people who tell their friends and then their friends nick the names.
That happened to me literally, and when I said to them, oh, my boy is called like this, and when the baby was born, she was like, oh, meet so and so. I was sitting there carrying this baby, and I was like I couldn't take the face off, when you're sitting there oh, and I'm looking at the baby name. You're not cute anymore. But yeah. I was literally I can't believe this is daylight robbery.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, it happens.
The cheat.
Mama's code.
I really want to ask you all the questions I asked last time, but I can't remember them.
Baby brain.
this is probably directed a bit more towards Erica because your children are a little bit older, but I really want to find a fine line between disciplining my child but also not letting them be scared of me. So how do you kind of get a balance of that?
I can't tell you that my kid's not scared of me, because he probably is. It's really hard. The biggest tip I could give is patience. I think kids really drive you up the wall the more sleep deprived you get. So sometimes you scream at them, but you don't want to. Like I felt, and I think the girls can relate, on multiple occasions when you're so tired and you've got so much on your shoulders that you just react in a certain way, and then you feel so shit about it afterwards. But I think the thing here is making sure your child respects you and you acknowledging that you've done something wrong. So normally, like with my parents, or especially my mum, if she did something wrong or like told me off for like a reason, that she wouldn't step up and say, oh, I'm sorry, like I was wrong for doing that, because you know they were brought up differently, and like the last word, they get it and that's it. Whereas me, I've had multiple occasions where I tell Joel off, and he kind of like, he's very open to having a discussion, and if he doesn't like something, he will say it. And this is what I love about him, that he's not like, he knows that he's being told off, but if he has something to say, he will literally be like, Mummy, I don't agree with what you've just done. But it's the way we've kind of like gone about things, because I know I'm the mum, but I don't get everything right the first time. Like he could be doing something, and because I'm so caught up doing other things and, you know, the fast pace of our world, you kind of like ignore the fact that they're still kids. And sometimes like you clean the living room and then 2.5 seconds pass and then it's a mess again. So sometimes you're just like, oh, fuck's sake, like I've just cleaned it, why are you doing this? But sometimes he's just like, Mummy, I just wanted to play. And it's true, like he's a kid, like why would I moan about that? If he was someone that just wanted to, you know, be on the TV, sometimes I'll be like, oh, why are you always on the TV? But you balance it out. It's kind of like, well, you just told me I can't have my toys out because, you know, I messed up your living room. So what is it that you want me to do? But I definitely think it's being able to talk to your child and go down to their level, basically. You know, if you get things wrong, make them aware that you've been wrong and say sorry. They will kind of like acknowledge and be like, oh, thank you, Mummy. Like, it's good. Yes, you've already told them off. It's going to happen, but you've kind of like made them aware, like, you know, it's my fault, like I shouldn't have reacted like that.
Yeah, and I think that probably will help them later in life be able to apologize, because, you know, I can't stand people who, you know, think that they're right the whole time and they can't admit when they're wrong. And I feel like if your parents are admitting that they're wrong from a young age, and that's something that's instilled in you, and I think that helps when you're not an only child as well. Like I definitely have some friends who are only children and never think they're wrong ever. And I think that's also like having siblings and kind of understanding who's right and wrong and being able to like admit to that.
And it's speaking to your children like they're adults.
Yeah,
like
not babying them.
Yeah, not babying them so much, because they understand.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Definitely. Good luck.
Yeah, you will realize how amazing your body is.
What's your top tip for labor?
Sway your hips.
Okay, got that one. Any other?
Don't hold your breath or clench your body.
If you don't like dry lips,
Carmex.
Vaseline or Carmex. Just because, I don't know why, when you're in labour, maybe it's like you're licking your lips or your just mouth is too open all the time, but your lips can get dry. So if you don't like that,
lip balm. Copy that. Thank you. I will definitely be getting in touch because I am so clueless.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much for joining us again. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nush.
Bye.
Mum's cold out.
Mwah.
Mama's Code.